Welcome to the e-learning platform by Science Park. So this is the part second of properties of magnetic field from standard 7, which covers chapter number 19 of SSC board. So let's see what we are going to learn today. So we will find out how permanent magnets are made. The process is called as magnetization, and in that we are going to say two methods. One is single touch method and another is double touch method. Then we are going to revise about attraction and repulsion. Then we are going to see magnetic lines of forces and the penetrating ability of magnets. And in the end, we are going to see the applications of electromagnet, and to be precise, we are going to learn about metal detectors. So friends, let's start with magnetization single touch method. For that, we are going to need an iron nail and a bar magnet. So we have to touch any of the pole to the head of the magnet or to the head of the nail. Before that, we have to keep the nail on the ground and hold it towards the head. Now we have to rub the magnet on the nail in only one direction as shown. So we have to rub it towards the tail, then lift it up and then again place it on the head, and we have to do this around 200 times, right? So after that, after rubbing 200 times, if we bring some U-pins near the iron nail, it will attract them, right? So friends, we have made a permanent magnet. Okay. Now this is because we have rubbed a permanent bar magnet onto the iron nail. That's why it got magnetized and the U-pins are attracted towards it. Now this method is called as single touch method because we have only touched once by only one magnet and in only one direction. Now we will see magnetization by double touch method, which is probably more powerful than single touch method. The magnets which we can produce using double touch method are more powerful than single touch method. For that, we need an iron strip and we have to fix it somewhere because we will need two bar magnets and we have to rub the iron strip by both the bar magnets. But we have to take care that the poles are opposite. Yes, like the bar magnet on the right, north pole is touching the iron strip, and bar magnet on left, then the south pole should be touching the iron strip. And then we have to rub it similar way of single touch method, like this. So we have to take it outside, lift it, again keep it in middle, and we have to rub it again around 200 times. And in this case, if you bring U-pins near the iron strip, they will quickly attract it, making it more powerful than the iron nail. So this is called as the double touch method, right? So we will just revise quickly about what is attraction and repulsion. So if we have two bar magnets, and if the north pole of one magnet is facing south pole of another magnet, they will attract, right? So unlike poles attract, poles which are not similar or not same will attract. And if we bring north pole or south pole near each other of two different magnets, they will go far away from each other, which is called as repulsion. Hence we say like poles repel each other. Here I have a bar magnet and an iron nail. Now gradually I'll bring this bar magnet near the iron nail. See what happens. So as you can see, as I bring it closer to the nail attracts the bar magnet from a distance. I'll do it again. Right. So this means that magnetic force can even act at this distance. If you take an even more powerful magnet, it may act at a more distance. So this magnetic force can be represented as lines of force that we will see in a moment. So friends, here we have an assembly. Now I have one bar magnet. As you can see, the white dot here, that means this side is the north pole. Now there is a place to keep the magnet, so I'll just place this magnet in such a way so that the north pole of the magnet is inside, is facing towards me. Now I have another bar magnet. This is the north pole, as you can see. Now I'll place this magnet from the opposite side so that the south pole will be inside. It will be facing towards you. Now here I have iron filings which I'll pour over this area. And I'll just give a tap. So as I tap, you can see that the iron filings are aligning themselves in a certain manner. So friends, can you see some lines? Yes, so these are called as magnetic lines of forces. These lines represent the strength of the magnet or the magnetic field, right? The closer the lines are, more powerful the magnet is, right? Now we will understand a few properties of these lines of forces. First of all, you can see there are two regions. One is this here and another is here, where the iron filings are concentrated. That means the strength of the magnet lies in its poles. This is the first property. Now with the help of magnetic lines of forces, we can even deduce that whether the two magnets we have entered here are attracting or repulsive. Right now, the lines of forces, as you can see, they are connected. That means that these two are attracting. Obviously, because here we have north pole and here we have south pole. Now these lines of force are in a state of tension, like a stretched spring. They also repel each other because they are aligned in a particular manner. Right. Now I'll remove this magnet from here and I'll just flip it so that north pole will be inside. Now we have north pole of both the magnets facing each other. And again I'll give it a tap. Now as you can see, the alignment has changed. Now they are aligned in such a way that they are going far away from each other. Now this state represents the repulsion. That means these two poles are repelling each other. If you tap it more, you can see they are going far away more, right? So using the magnetic lines of forces, we can even tell whether the poles are attracting or they are repelling each other. So this is all about the magnetic lines of forces. So in this experiment, we are going to see the penetrating ability of a magnet. Here we have a stand onto which we will keep a ring magnet, and on this bar here we have a steel ring which is attached with a string. So if I bring this near the magnet, it will float like this because it is attracted towards the magnet. Can you see the gap in between this ring and the magnet? Right. So in this experiment, I have strips of different materials with me which I will pass through this gap. So what do you think will happen? Will the ring fall down? Well, let's check. So first I have plastic. Now if I pass plastic strip in between the ring and magnet, nothing happens. So the magnetic field just passes through the plastic. I'll pass a paper now, a piece of paper. Still nothing happens. So the magnetic field also passes through the paper. Now I'll take different metals. First I'll take copper. As you can see, still nothing happens. I'll take aluminium. And I'll take brass. And finally, now I have a strip of iron which I am going to pass in between. But I'll have to take care that it doesn't attract the magnet. For that purpose, I'll have to hold this magnet here. Okay, as you can see, the ring fell down. Now I'll do this again. Yes. So as you can see, the ring fell down. Now why is it so? Because when I touched the iron strip to the magnet, it magnetized, and this ring was attracted towards the strip, the iron strip, but it was very weakly magnetized, and hence the ring fell down. But what the strips I have shown you before, the magnetic field is completely able to pass through the materials. Hence we say that magnet has the penetrating ability. Right. So friends, let us see the applications of electromagnets now. Electromagnets are widely used in our day-to-day lives. We'll see one by one. So electromagnets are used in electric motors. Now we know that whenever we pass current through any conductor, it becomes electromagnet. And if we have a permanent magnet near it, they will try to attract or repel themselves depending on the poles. So they will move, and that movement is essential. That movement is actually applied in certain devices. One is electric motor. Then we have transformers. Then we have relays. Now relay is an electronic device, or it is an electronic switch. It doesn't contains a button, physical button which we have to press, but it does contain a control. It has a control pin through which we can switch it on and off. Then we have electric bell. Then we have speaker, which uses electromagnet. Then we have a magnetic valve which lets us close and open with the use of electromagnet. Then we have a hard disk, computer hard disk, which stores the data. It also uses electromagnet. Then we have MRI machines, huge machineries. They also use electromagnets. Then we have magnetic locks, which we may have seen in many places. Then it is also used to lift heavy iron objects. Now that machine is called as crane. It also uses electromagnet. Then electromagnet is also used in magnetic levitation trains, maglev trains. And it is also used in induction stove to heat the food. Right. So now we will see what are metal detectors. Okay. So friends, this is how they look. Now the function of these machines is based on electromagnets. Now metal detectors are used in very important places like an airport, bus station, certain temples and buildings, right? They are used for inspection of persons entering these places. Metal detectors are also used to detect very precious articles and also in food processing industry to detect any iron or steel objects which are mixed unknowingly in foodstuff, as these would be harmful to our health. Now in geology, these machines are used to detect the presence and quantity of certain metals. Right. Now we'll see what is exactly there in the metal detectors. So there are two coils which looks like English alphabet D, one of which is a transmitter coil and another is the receiver coil. Now when we transmit the signal through the transmitter coil, and if any metal is brought close to that, the receiver will pick that signal and it is attached to a speaker which will tell us that it has detected a metal. Right. So friends, let's summarize the session. So in the beginning we have seen the methods of magnetization, single and double touch methods. Then we just revised about attraction and repulsion. Then we have seen magnetic lines of forces and the penetrating ability of magnets. Then we have seen applications of electromagnets, and specifically we have seen how metal detectors work. So friends, here are some questions. Kindly note these questions in your notebook and write the answers to them. Thank you.